Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the heavyweight bout on the contender series between Eduardo Nieves versus Jhonta Diniz. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence Jhonta Diniz to beat Eduardo Nieves. I think with this one, I think Eduardo Nieves, he's just kind of sloppy everywhere. He's 23 years old. He may be a big boy and whatnot. He may appear to be a more mature aged fighter. But at the end of the day, he's a 23-year-old and I'm not gonna say probably some older body. He's just a big boy. He's 23-year-old. He might have the size of you might think this guy's older, think this guy's that. But at the end of the day, he's a 23-year-old. You know, 23-year-old could be a flyweight, 125, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205, and whatnot. You might think, because he's smaller, this look like a younger guy, and you give him the benefit of the doubt or whatnot. Or you might say, he looks like a young guy. But where am I going with this? But all I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, he's mentally a 23-year-old. And I feel like he fights like an immature 23-year-old. Well, not immature in life. Well, I guess you could say, I don't know. His style is just not polished. That's what I'm trying to say. He fights immaturely like a fighter who's not fully polished, not really seasoned just yet. And I feel like he hasn't fully gotten into his body yet, broken into his body yet, started to really chisel up, add more muscle mass, and add this and add that, work on his grappling technique, work on his approach, work on his fight IQ. It just seemed like a guy that just lacks true purpose out there, and it's kind of just fights. Versus Jhonta Diniz, who I think is a little bit, he's like 30, I believe, 29, 30, something like that, or maybe even 33 or whatnot, but still a pretty young guy, especially by heavyweight standards, who has had over a decade of kickboxing experience. You know, been there with literally with the best heavyweight of the past decade, maybe past decade, Rico Verhoeven. Didn't look particularly good in that fight, but he was in there. He didn't get ran over completely in that one. So this guy has experience, but I think that's another red flag. Every time you try to make a prediction and include that they fought this guy, but did he beat him? They get knocked out first round. So, hey, follow that knockout first round prop. He been there with this guy, he been there with the guy, he been in there with the guy. But did he beat those guys? He did not. So first round stop, it seemed like a mystical thing every single time. I'm picking Jhonta Diniz, but hey, maybe he might have had a sprinkle on Eduardo Nieves first round knockout, or first round TKO, because it seemed like anytime you start doing that, I think it's the Boston Salmon effect. I was ranked right behind I think what he said, Errol Spence in the amateurs. I was number 4. I fought him and whatnot. It was competitive. Then he came on the contender series, or I think he fought one guy. He got starched in the first round. And since then, it hasn't been since then, but it probably was before then. But that's as far as, what sticks out to me most. The first guy that I really kind of predicted, and I kind of say, he was in there with this guy. He was in there with that guy. He get knocked out first round. Supposed to be a striker. But after that, did he win? I don't know. But back to this prediction. Yeah, I'm going Jhonta Diniz. He's just a more polished fighter, at least in one facet. And I think his takedown defense is decent enough to beat Eduardo Nieves, who doesn't really even shown good exceptional takedown defense. His grappling has looked pretty piss poor, so I can't really even rate that enough for him to use it. But at the end of the day, this is low-level MMA. Got to go Jhonta Diniz, low-level MMA, low confidence. And I'm going to go second round TKO for Jhonta Diniz. So in this one, I got Jhonta Diniz via second round TKO.